Hello, Gary.
Hi.
May I ask you when, why, and how did you get into Scientology?
I got in June of 1970, 40 years ago. And I was looking for something like this. I was born into another religion, and I wasn't happy. I'd done some Buddhism and meditating, and I was looking around for something. And I was, a friend of mine's cousin came from New York, Harry, and he was going to study, do power at Asho. And I met Harry, and he got me in.
Okay, thank you. Did you have any wins in Scientology?
Yeah, sure, tremendous wins.
Yeah. Can you share some?
Well, finding out that you're spiritual, I liked. I had already been on that track a little bit. That I was thinking about past lives. I've been reading Edgar Casey and some of this other stuff, and having reinforcement that you're a spiritual being is probably the main thing of all. And then I got a lot of wins. Well, I didn't know if mankind was basically good or basically bad. There was so much bad in the world, it was hard to reconcile. So in the lecture I attended, they said man was basically good. So I wanted to pursue, that was what I was hoping, so that was the thing that got me in. And then the calm cycle. Oh, there's some friends of mine. Corky. Okay. Hi, Corky.
Hello.
Hi, Eileen.
Hello.
I'm being interviewed.
Gary. I recognize Gary.
Well, that's me. Okay, so...
So what are we supposed to do? Pay in the back? Pay here? Oh,
anyway, so I had wins doing the comm course, and from that I wanted to become an auditor, and I took off on it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. How far did you get up the bridge? How?
I did the old OT levels, before knots. I did all of that.
Yeah.
And I went back and I did knots. As far as knots, I never got to to solo knots though. By that time, I didn't have money, and later on I became upset with the group, the organization. So I never did my solo knots. And on the training side, I was Dianetics. It used to come first, before the grades, and I got Dianetics interned, NED, and then I did my academy levels. And I never interned those because the golden age was coming up. They said, don't do the internship, you're going to have to do everything golden age. So, and then not too long after that, I left the church. So I'm class 5, 1 through 4, 0 through 4 plus NED interned.
Okay, I see. So since you left and you didn't do your internship, but are you using this knowledge? Are you helping anybody using this technology that you've learned?
Yeah, not formally. Well, I have a thread. I have a big thing going on the internet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's on ESMB. My story, I was on the Apollo, and I was at Celebrity Center, and I tell my story, and then we go into, we have the second biggest thread on the whole board there. And we just discuss about everything, like all different things.
I see. But what about this board? Don't you think it has a true critical attitude towards Scientology?
It's factions. There's factions on there which are extremely critical. If you say anything good about it, you're attacked. There's other people, such as myself, that they're more critical of the way the church is run now, but the tech they're not critical of. They've had big wins on the tech. And then there's all shades in between. It's a very broad spectrum. I started out completely gung-ho. I thought it was a perfect group, and I have picked up some negative information there, to be honest with you. But I still have the same goal, and I still was helped. I'll never give that up, because if I was helped, it became more aware through it. I don't turn my back on a group that helped me. I'll say that. So that That's the answer.
I-
My whole thing is truthfulness. I don't try not to tell any type of fibs or slant. I don't have any agenda. And I don't have any need to be right. I ran out my service facts in auditing, and I don't have to be right. I'm always changing. I'm willing to change. So there you go.
Okay, talking about the future of Scientology, do you think it has a future?
I hope so, but not under current management.
So how do you see the future of Scientology?
Well, there's two ways to go. I mean, it can go forward as a self-betterment group, or it can go forward as a religion. Now, I believed that it was a religion because it dealt with the spiritual nature of man, and I still believe that. But in its current form, the church is using religion as a cloaking to gain tax advantages and overwork the staff without any compensation. I'm not in favor of that. It deals with the spirit of man, so it is a religion in the classical Greek sense of the word, and the ideal scene would be to retain religion, but actually be a religion. Don't just use it for shore stories and ways of getting out of paying taxes. Be a religion, and I think the policy can't be fixed. LRH policy is the gospel, the scriptures on how to run the place. But as all these years have gone by, we have the internet now. We have world communications has improved. Something that has to be updated to account for those things, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm saying anything sacrilegious, but the basic policy structure is good, but it should be adapted. This is 2010 now. It's not 1970, there's the internet has made a tremendous difference in the way information is passed around the world, the speed and so forth. And I'm not saying to change CORE's policies, but there has to be some way to account for these new products or these new electronic devices that we have now. But as far as the technology, I think it should go back to the LRH tech. I don't think we should keep golden age and additives like that. The tech there has to be a sense of really wanting to help the beings. Like when I first got in, that was there back in '70. We were there to help other beings go free. That's the key thing, really. If you're only there to get your stat up and get money out of somebody, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to fail. So either I'm in support. I believe it should be religious teachings should be not copyright. It should be put to use, as much use as possible, but proper use. The way LRH intended. LRH usage, as much as possible. The church might have domain over the upper levels or something like that. That can be worked out, but it should be used as much as possible. And I think something like the field is very valid and should continue.
Yeah.
If the church can get back more on source, then maybe that would continue too. You'd have the church and the free zone both, and independent practitioners, because you're trying to get the whole planet.
So in your vision, there is a future, right?
There's some hurdles to overcome, but there's a future. It's always going to be around. If it's the church, fine. If it's not the church, it'll be something like the Free Zone Association.
Okay.
Is that
it was nice talking to you. Thank you for talking to me back.
Where do I stand? Am I radical or moderate?
That's good. Thank you.